It's your first year thinking about participating in Artfight, but you still don't really know what the heck it even is. Maybe you've already watched some videos that have talked about it, though you're still confused about some of the basics, such as what the heck even an attack is, or why people talk about prepping no matter the time of year. In this video, I'm going to be going through the absolute essentials for what you need to know to finally start participating. And yes, it's a must, because it's literally Artfight's 10th anniversary, and what better excuse is there than now to finally give it a look. When people talk about Artfight, they're referring to a website called artfight.net. They have an About page that explains how it works, as well as some other important pages like the rules, news, filtering guide, attack rating guide, and frequently asked questions page. For now, all you need to know is that these resources exist, and that if you ever have any questions or concerns later on, help is always available with Artfight's mod mail inquiry system, as well as through their Discord server too. When it comes to what Artfight actually is, it's essentially a time-limited event and game for artists with original characters. There is only one window of opportunity that you can actually participate, and that is on July 1st at 6 p.m. UTC of each year, it lasting for one entire month. The game aspect comes from the fact that there's structure, rules, and a way to win or lose. In the most lighthearted way, of course. That's all well and good, but how do you actually join? You're able to sign up for an account any time of the year, though you'll have to wait until late June for the official theme reveal. When it goes live, it'll appear on the homepage, and you'll even see a countdown for when the actual event begins. When you do catch it early this way, you can pick your team right away and switch as many times as you want prior to July 1st. It's only when the event begins that your first team pick will be randomized, and you'll just have a limited amount of times that you can change your team again. There's actually badges you can get during Artfight, and 2 of them relate to if you stayed loyal or if you swapped to the other side, you criminal. When you do finally join a team, your objective is to get as many points as you can so your team comes out on top by the time the event's actually over. So how do you earn these points? Well, it's earned by submitting gift artwork through the actual website. Yes, participants are making art for each other's original characters, and depending on the complexity and the team that the other participant is on, the site will automatically calculate the amount of points you get. There is even a spot you can specify if you put in extra time and effort with polish, and another page where you can help give bonus points to random submissions as well. Anyway, this is where that rating guide comes in handy, so definitely give that a look when it's relevant. A quick note as well, art submissions is not just limited to digital or traditional artwork, but also for a wide variety of visual mediums that you can see here. Let's get a bit into that sweet terminology now. Artfight, as the name implies, is one where 2 teams are battling against each other to earn the most points. We understand this, but because of this context, you're going to see words like attack, revenge, friendly fire, and other phrases that have a fiery energy. I'll tell you now what they mean. Attack is another word for those art submissions we mentioned earlier. They are directed to another person, and it's ultimately something endearing and wholesome, as what you've really done here is put effort into making them happy by drawing their beloved overseas. The optional competitive side that comes from this is an impact on people's ratios, something that's actually visible on people's profiles. Some people like to try to attack more than they receive, so there can be this energy of, how dare you at times. So know that it's completely friendly. A similar term is mass attack too, which is when a participant attacks multiple characters, these which can belong to just one other person or to many participants as well. So we know about ratios now and how some people have goals for how to maintain it. This is where we'll bring up the term revenge now. It's essentially a counterattack where they gift art to you in return for something you've made for them. It's an actual function on Artfight, and it can potentially result in revenge chains where two people continue to go back and forth with giving art to each other. Finally, there's also friendly fire. This is where you gift art to someone who's on your same team. When you do this, you won't get as many points as if it was for someone of the opposite team, though it's been a recent change where people do earn more points than past years for friendly fire. We are going to be switching over to expectations next, and the general culture of Artfight. If you're new, Artfight may look like a great time to either get a bunch of art or to earn a lot of points if you're into competitions. I want to stop you real quick. The most important thing to understand about Artfight is that it's centered primarily on the act of giving and of having some low-stakes fun with the art community. With that in mind, you should do your absolute best not to hold high expectations on receiving art, and instead focus more of your attention on making things that will make other people happy instead, as well as stuff that's fun for you to draw. Striving for points over everything can be a slippery slope in the sense that you may risk burning yourself out over high goals, or of course do actions or artworks that in some way defeat the purpose of this wholesome community event. I will not get into the weeds of that, but so long as you remind yourself to cool down and to be considerate of others, then you'll be just fine. I kind of view Artfight as that time of year where you can reflect on your goals as an artist and to consider the types of things you want to draw and for what purpose. Maybe it's an excuse to make art for people who have OCs you adore but never got around to drawing at this point. Maybe you want to make a portfolio and you hope to go more high effort. Many participants work specifically on letting go of perfectionism and making a higher quantity of attacks, in comparison to the rest of the year at least. In addition to that, there's people who simply haven't done art in a while, or those who are just trying to get some more practice in general. Finally, sometimes it's really just a matter of artists making new friends who enjoy the same hobby of art making. There are a lot of reasons to try this as a challenge, and I'd actually love to hear in the comments for why you might want to participate or why you have in the past. Regardless of reason, there is one thing that everyone does in the lead up to the event, and yes, it's prepping. It is true that the event itself is only 1 month of the entire year, but you're still going to hear people discussing it year-round, especially as it approaches. Overall, it's that sense that there's a lot to do before the event starts. So what's that all about? There is one essential, and that's character references. Artfight, as we know, is for artists. It's a visual sort of space, so descriptions alone will not cut it. Many participants spend the majority of their prepping time on working on these rough sheets, given the fact that OC creators are likely to have a bunch, so there's always more to make. There's even an effort in updating them, either to reflect the evolution of the character or to better show their style, because their styles do shift over time. I will say that art from other artists is allowed with permission and credit, as well as character creators like Picrew with disclosure too, but it's only to be used for reference images, not for actual attacks. In addition to gathering these references, people do preoccupy their time with writing information about their OCs, priority going towards basics like age, pronouns, and guidelines for drawing. After getting those out of the way, many also like to include lore and other information that might help inspire another artist. For 2026, there is a new connections feature where you can define relationships between characters and how they describe each other, which is absolutely something you should consider trying out yourself if you have OCs that belong to the same world. For other basics, this includes things for your profile like your icon and a description. You can write whatever you'd like here, but it's often going to be around your priorities for attacks, things you're interested in, spotlights for OCs you have, or where people can find or support you. Many people actually make a plan of attack too for how they make the most of the event. This is where you'll see things like hit lists and forms to enter them. This basically being a list of people that an artist plans on potentially making art for if they can. People even like to bookmark and organize OCs into folders for an easier time in finding characters you might want to draw later. There is a known problem on the site that it can be slow at times when there's a bunch of people on at once. It usually comes up at the beginning of Artfight, so people's prep can also include downloading characters and noting down guidelines and information, even if just for a general offline access. Each year it's only gone better, however, so I'll say that even if there is a wait, it's not the end of the world if you can't do this extra step here. I'd recommend it only for the most feral of us, which I say of course with the greatest amount of love. You hacking Artfight Pro. There is one final kind of prep that I absolutely adore, and that's profile aesthetics. Many like to decorate their page as a way to reflect themselves, their interests, and their OCs, and often people decorate based off the released theme too. In this sense, you can find people putting in some extra time and effort in making their pages stand out with graphics, GIFs, formatting, and more. For the super enthusiasts, you'll see them using CSS to make their pages especially fancy. If that's something you're interested in, you'll need to donate about $25 to Artfight to become a premium member. If you do have the means, I 100% recommend it, as not only do you get access to this cool feature, but you'll also be supporting this amazing site and helping it reach its milestones. There's a lot of cool ones. Before we wrap this section up, let me emphasize what kind of prep you're not allowed to do. You cannot submit artwork that you've made outside of the month of July. And in addition to that, you cannot sketch prep attacks either. Beyond this, I do want you to go read the rules for additional specifics on what is and isn't allowed. But aside from that, you're caught up with the basics of Artfight. Thank you to all of my supporters over on my website, and I hope to catch y'all next time. Bye!